I'm not going to waste your time. Number one, find your purpose. Now, if you don't know your purpose, or if there's other guys around you your age that don't know their purpose, you'll be able to see it clearly. A young man who doesn't know his purpose, he drifts along. He doesn't have like this direction that he is taking himself and the world into. And so he just kind of, he stumbles along and he gets an impulse to play some video games, and so he plays some video games. He wants to do this thing, so he does this thing. His life is filled up of his cravings, or the duties that other people have put onto him, like the teachers or maybe his boss. And maybe you can relate. There's been times in your life, maybe right now, where you're just kind of reacting to events. You're not really doing anything. You're not pushing the world into a certain direction. And this usually happens when you don't really have a purpose. So if you've heard of the term purpose before, it seems a bit vague, doesn't it? What I would do before you really understand purpose, just simply change the word to mission. You need a mission. You need like one of those, like, it's like a North Star, like a big goal that is so important for you. So what could be your mission? It could be, for example, to get an awesome degree. Most degrees aren't worth it. We all know that. We know that university is largely a scam, but there are a good handful of degrees which are very, very high quality, right? Some degrees you absolutely need to get into the job that you want. So maybe it could be, okay, to get the degree that you need. Maybe it could be to start building up this successful business. Maybe it's to, make some friends, because you don't really have that right now, and we need a tribe around us. We need like this mission, this purpose, this reason for why we're waking up. Now, purpose seems like such a vague concept up until you literally just break down what the word means, purpose. What's the purpose? Purpose is kind of like the why, the because of everything that you do. And we can get very spiritual here. I'm going to give you like a little bit of the spirituality, which I know it's probably going to be confusing, but it's just going to plant some things into your brain which will be helpful. So purpose is entirely spiritual, and most guys have never even opened up like their spiritual life. I may be level 2 in this area, and it goes up to level 10,000. So there's a lot of progress to be made. But I can tell you something from my own perspective. We were born on this earth to give something. It's almost like we're supposed to be martyrs, sacrifices. And each man has his individual gift that is covered in so much bullshit, in propaganda, in narrative that we've heard from teachers and parents and everything else. But each man was born a boy with this specific gift, this truth, this real thing that his life should have been centered around. And with your parents' conditioning, when they said, oh, you're going to grow up to be such an amazing fireman and this and this, and then you watch those Hollywood movies for all of your life, it's got covered with so much stuff that we don't even know what our core purpose is anymore. The why of our life, the because of our life. And so if you want to find your purpose and your mission, you can set a mission right now, and it's like a real world mission of like, go to university and make some friends and maybe get some girls. And that can still give you some direction, which is nice. But if you really want to find your purpose in like the most spiritual way, turn everything off. None of your peers, like all the guys your age, will never do this. Turn everything off. Literally grab your phone and fully turn it off. Your laptop, your computer, fully turn it off. Sit in a room where there's no electronics on, where there's nothing to do. There's no distractions. And I promise you, sit here for 6 hours. Just get bored as fuck. Literally just sit here and just kind of like sit around, look at your walls, bored. That will be some of the most valuable time of your life, I promise you. How many guys do you actually think have done this in this modern day? Be honest, how many guys have actually done this? Of the entire, of our entire country of 60 million people, 300 million people, how many guys have done this? Maybe a handful, maybe the guys in prison. And even then, they still distract themselves. Even then, they still have phones in there. Most people distract themselves, and so you never see the truth of your core. And this was me. Like, I lived my entire life not really having this clear purpose, this mission. And so I just kind of did what I thought I was supposed to do. Go to university. Okay, it's time to get like a job now. Oh no, I don't like jobs. It's time to start business now. And all these things are shallow. All these things are shallow because they don't come from the real place core inside of you. And it was only in 2020 when I moved back to my parents' home in my bedroom that I grew up in as a kid, that I started to detach away from a lot of technology and to just sit with some negativity, some discomfort. If you imagine this right now, imagine if you just started to spend some time, like minutes, hours a day, doing nothing, not even trying to think about stuff. Literally just like being bored, looking at your wall, no YouTube videos playing, no music or no fucking lo-fi beats to study / find your purpose to. Literally just sat there. You can do this, right? It seems easy, and it seems easy. It seems like this is one of those steps of this video that you may as well skip, right? It seems easy. I bet you wouldn't even do it. I bet you're not even like strong enough to do this. Because when you try, after about 3 minutes, 99.9% of guys will give up. Because 99.9% of guys are quite mediocre. But the 0.1% of men, they're the ones who actually go on to like change the world. And every single one of these strong leaders, these men that change the world, that help their tribe, that become ultra successful, we're talking hundreds of millions, billions, every single one of them are great thinkers. And that comes from some periods where you are supposed to find your purpose and you just sit and think. In the modern day, we don't do this. We don't take time to think. It's seen as weird. But if there's one thing you could take from me so far, take some time to think about your purpose. Think about the reason why you're doing anything at all. And there's going to be a particular moment where you'll fall through the bullshit that you've been covering your life in. And you'll start to ask the kind of questions that your family and your friends will think that you're crazy for. But I won't. And men like us won't.